crafty friends. Happy winter solstice. Today is December 21st and it's day 21 of Holi-Vlog. And it's Tuesday and the cats are vying over the cat bed. I don't know if you heard Luna squeal just a second ago. She and Loki are arguing over who's going to have the cat bed, I think. That or they're just arguing. I'm not sure what's up with them today. Momo is comfy and cozy in a on a blanket in an extra chair on the other side of the room, but the other two are arguing. Well, Loki's going for the bed now, so he must have been arguing over the bed. Anyway, good morning. How are you? Excuse me. I'm drinking the, I think this is it Costa Rica Paraiso? It's the one from the other day that I didn't drink. I decided to drink this one before I drank the Krispy Kreme. I may end up having the Krispy Kreme later today. We'll see. But that's what I'm drinking in my coffee cup this morning. I also think that it's ironic that I chose, this is my, I don't know if you can see it, Ugros the Sun. This is my Ugros the Sun t-shirt, which is pretty ironic for winter solstice, since this is the day we're celebrating the return of the sun from the long dark night. So, but as I've said a few times, me and the sun, we're not buds. But I am happy to celebrate the days getting a little bit longer. I don't mind the winter so much, but I don't have some of the issues that other folks have with seasonal depression and things like that. I find that I actually am more upbeat in the fall and the winter than I am in the summer, and I think it's because me and the sun don't get along. But yeah, so happy winter solstice if you're celebrating. Let's talk about other things that are being celebrated and observed today. It's the 21st, so it is crossword puzzle day. It's don't make your bed day, which for me is pretty much every day. For Father's Day, I'm not sure what that is. That sounds like possibly a colonial thing. Humbug Day. And interestingly enough, on Humbug Day, it's also Look on the Bright Side Day. It's National Flashlight Day. It's National Hamburger Day. National Homeless Persons Remembrance Day. That's a good one, or an important one, I should say. National Short Story Day, and it is it's winter solstice, obviously. So yeah, winter solstice I think officially begins in a couple more hours from when I'm filming this, which means probably by the time this is up, it will already be like officially winter solstice. I posted this on Facebook, and I don't tend to, probably most of you are not connected to me on Facebook for a variety of reasons, but I posted on Facebook a very long and in-depth post from there's a Facebook group, I want to say it's called Monolithic Ireland. I can't remember the specific Facebook group. Anyway, they talk a lot about the different megalithic monoliths, stone circles, large stone not buildings, but words. But in Ireland, there's a lot of ancient megalithic monuments. Monuments, that's the word I wanted. Excuse me. So along the lines of Stonehenge. Most people are familiar with Stonehenge, which is not in Ireland, but they're familiar with the concept of a stone circle because of Stonehenge. In Ireland, there are stone circles scattered all over the country, and some of them are large enough to be similar to Stonehenge, though not nearly as large. But some of them are very small, and they're kind of scattered throughout. Some of them are on private property. Most of them are considered ancient sites, so even if they're on private property, you can go see them if you are respectful and careful and things like that. And I've had the opportunity to go to a couple of those places. One of my favorites is actually one that's not super popular. I don't know how well known it is, but it's one of my favorite places in Ireland, and it's called the Piper Stones, and it's just outside of Dublin. And it's one that's not as well known, and you actually have to go through like a couple of sheep fields to get to it, and excuse me. So it's not as often visited as some of the other ones. I went to one outside of Cork, that was much more popular. So when Adam and I went in 2019, we were not the only people visiting that day. It wasn't super crowded, but there were people flowing in and out. Whereas when I've gone to the Piper Stones, generally speaking, I went both with Adam when he and I went to Ireland, and also with my friend Susan when she and I went to Ireland the year that Rachel got married. So I've been to the Piper Stones twice. It's one of my favorite locations in Ireland overall. But it's just one of many, many, many places like this where the ancient Irish folk somehow got these massive stones into specific locations and set in certain ways so that they could mark the passing of the year. And one of the biggest, most well known types of sites like that in Ireland is actually Newgrange. It's a Nowth and Newgrange, which are actually ancient burial mounds. But outside of Newgrange, the entrance to Newgrange is this massive entry stone with carvings on it and things like that. And the reason I mentioned Newgrange and the reason I posted this on Facebook was because it was a large discussion of the fact that these burial mounds, they all have a box over the archway, the doorway down into the mound, and each of these burial mounds was built with this, I think they call it a skybox, but it's built with a skybox that lets the light in at a very specific point in the year. Each mound is set for a very specific date. Pardon, goodness. Set for a very specific date. So Newgrange being the most popular, most well-known, that one is actually set to mark the winter solstice. So today, possibly in a couple of hours or maybe a couple of hours ago, in Ireland, I believe they'll be live streaming the sun coming into the burial mound at Newgrange. And I got the opportunity to visit Newgrange. It is an awesome experience. It's a little bit scary, especially if you're at all claustrophobic, but it was so worth going in. You actually have to climb up over the entry stone to go down in, and being a bigger person, it was a little challenging because there are places where you have to turn sideways to get through, and I was a little nervous I wasn't going to get through there. And I think in 2016 I was actually a few pounds heavier, so it was like I really had to kind of like suck everything in and just really, just pray that I could get all the way through. But going all the way down into the burial mound to see what it looks like in there, and they actually gave us sort of a demonstration of what it would be like to see the sun coming into the burial mound. And what happens is the light actually comes through the front of the mound and it hits a specific spot inside the burial mound, and it's just the idea that these ancient peoples were able to build things in such an exacting way that at a very specific time of the year, every single year, this very specific, very magical kind of thing would happen. It's out of this world. I can't even believe it. So it's one of the reasons that I'm like, I think I'm like, anyway. Yeah. So yeah, winter solstice is a big deal in ancient cultures, and it has a very special meaning to me because it was, like I said, my stepdad, my mom's wedding anniversary. My mom and my dad, my biological dad, had been married for 30 some years when they decided that it was no longer working and they decided to get divorced. It was actually a really good decision for both of them. And shortly thereafter, my mom met my stepdad, who, no offense to my father, but my stepdad was the love of my mom's life. Sorry about that. Trying not to get too emotional. It's hard. So anyway, all I'm trying to say is that winter solstice is the December 21st is an important day for me. So let me talk about this next thing real quick so that I can try not to get yeah. By the way, I meant to say my name is Jessie. My pronouns are she and they. This is Mislaid Pages. If you're new here, hi. This doesn't happen every day, I promise. But today is kind of a big deal. So, so before I get into the coffee and the chocolate and the tiny presents, let me talk about a special piece because it is December 21st. So, I've talked about this before. This piece is called um, Someone We Love. I'll take this out of the I'll take this out of the project bag. This project bag, by the way, super cute, from the 805 Stitcher, one of my favorite project bag makers. I actually need to get a different project bag because I love the foxes, but I have something else I want to put in the fox bag, so I need a different project bag for this. But this is Someone We Love from Glendon Place. It's a special edition from 2019. I got this from, it's a full kit. I got this from Mystic Fabrics a couple of years ago. I'm gonna let you read it because if I read it, I'll get choked up. But it's a special piece, and it's for my mom and my stepdad and my dad, who have all passed. But it's something that I started last year in October. I started it on October 1st as a high tea new start. High tea is a thing that I picked up from Caroline over at Off the Grid Needle Arts. And high tea is basically just, it's on, generally happens on the first of the month. It can be the first of every month, the first of every quarter, whatever you decide. But basically you pick something that, you pick a new start that is a special start for one reason or another, because maybe it's your unicorn piece that you finally kitted up and you can start, or it's a special piece that means something very special to you or something like that. So this was a high tea start last year, one of my only high tea starts as it turns out. But I keep meaning to bring this out on special days, specific days like one of my parents' birthday, or today, like I said, is my mom and stepdad's anniversary. I keep meaning to bring this out on special dates, and I haven't done it yet. I'm hoping today will be the first day I actually do that. So this is the piece. This is a very special project bag that I made myself. One of only 2 project bags I have ever made in my life. I got this fabric off of, what is that site that is, wow. I can't even think of what the site is now. It's that site where you can go and artists can design different things and you can get fabric made of that design, and the name for that site is completely escaping me now. Anyway, so this is actually meant to be like a child's skirt. That's what this design was originally set up for. So if you get the fabric from that website, it starts with an S. Why is it? Brain. Okay. So if you get the fabric, it actually comes with this design on one strip, and it comes with this inside design on another strip, and it's set up so that you could actually cut it apart and sew it into a skirt. So it doesn't come like a regular bolt of fabric, which is a little bit unfortunate. So basically I got one bag out of that fabric, but it's gorgeous, right? I love this design. It's so awesome. So I picked swans because my mom loved swans. It was like one of her big deals from when I was a little bitty kid. She loved animals and birds in general. It's probably where I get my love of birds. But mom was a huge fanatic for swans, to the point where I have probably 50-ish swans of varying sizes that I inherited from my mother. I've gotten rid of some of them, but those are the ones that I have kept because they were more special to her. So here is what I have worked on so far. So I started this on October 1st. This is all I got done. So sadly, as important and as meaningful as this piece is, it has been languishing. So I do want to stitch on it today. You can see I've got a couple of swan needle minders here. The one on this side, this little porcelain one, Rachel gifted to me as a special gift in remembrance of my mom. And then this other one I got from I believe the Top Knot Stitcher. It's just really pretty. So I've got my special needle minders that only go on this project. Yeah, so it's all set and ready to go. I just need to pull it out and stitch it. but I haven't shown it on the channel in a while. I haven't talked about it in a while. And like I said, today's really important. It's really special, in remembrance of them. So I want to take that out a little bit later. Crossing my fingers that I'll have time to do that. I'm trying to get a bunch of stuff done today. But yeah, so I wanna work on that. I want to think good, happy thoughts about my mom and my stepdad on their anniversary. So that is one of my things for today. I'm really curious what some of y'all might be doing as solstice celebrations. I know there's a couple of you, at least one or two, but I know there's a couple of you out there that that celebrate winter solstice specifically, as opposed to some other winter holidays and observances. So I'd be curious to know what traditions and stuff you have surrounding that. But yeah, so that's my someone we love. I'm gonna go ahead and put it over here so I don't spill coffee on it. I'm deathly afraid of spilling something on it. Yeah, so thank you for being with me while I shared that with you. I appreciate that. Since we're talking about sensitivity, or since I'm talking about being sensitive and having a hard time and things like that, I saw on Instagram yesterday, if you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen it in my stories. I saw this post that someone else had shared talking about their therapist tells them or wishes them a gentle holiday, says, please have a gentle holiday, because their therapist recognizes, they said that their therapist recognizes that a lot of people are struggling at this time of year. It can be a very difficult time. It can be a very sad time for some folks. And so rather than wishing somebody a happy holiday, which might be really difficult, it might be really hard to feel happy right now. And that's okay. So rather than telling people be happy regardless of how you feel, or be joyous, or whatever, instead of saying Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever, you might say have a gentle holiday, to let folks know that it's okay. It's okay to feel however you feel. So I hope you're all having a gentle holiday. Okay, enough of that. It's okay to feel however you feel unless you're on camera, in which case suck it up and get back to filming. No, it's okay to feel however you feel. I don't know how you all feel about having to experience my feels. So let's get into lighter stuff. So let's talk about coffee. Shall we talk about coffee? So 24 cups of cheer. We only have a couple cups left, y'all. So we're all the way over here now. We're gonna do 21. I might see if I can find some discount advents or something this weekend, so I have something to open up next week. We'll see. This is a Dunkin' Donuts. Ooh, it's a Dunkin' Donuts Duos. It's nutty caramel. That sounds really good. I haven't had that variety, but it sounds really, really tasty. Pardon, now I'm all sniffly. So that is today's coffee. That's pretty yummy. We're going for 21. That's this handsome handsome nutcracker right there. Looks a little bit like Will Ferrell, doesn't it? It's the Will Ferrell nutcracker. That's what I've decided. Let's see. Today's chocolate is... It's one of those dark chocolate ones. This is the mousse with nougat. Mousse with nougat. So I'm not going to eat that right now. I probably need the chocolate, but I'm not going to eat that right now. I'll save that for a little bit later. Pardon. Okay, now I was actually going to skip ahead to the yarn, but let's do... The stitchy box was hiding, so I didn't. So now let's open 21. Let's open our tiny presents now. We're opening the 21st tiny present, so we're starting with a stitchy box, Christmas bash box, and moving on to, I have some trash I need to get rid of, day 21. That feels like a charm because it's kind of round in the package there. Let's see what we got. Ooh. You can't see it. I can see it. Okay, it's a tiny bell. I thought it was a teacup, but it's a tiny bell. I don't know how I'm going to be able to hold this up so you can actually see it. It feels so tiny in my fingers. So it's a tiny little Christmas, or not even necessarily Christmas. Well, it's got flowers and leaves on it. Okay. You can kind of sort of see it. It's a teeny tiny bell that could go really well on a scissor fob. Cloisonne copper and enamel bell. A fabulous bell in the style of old Christmas ornaments. Add it to some stitching, finishing, or a special gift. I don't know if I would put this on stitching because it's so 3D. I mean, it's a fairly large thing to put on your stitching. Okay, I'm trying to get light. Okay, that's not working. Because okay, that's a little bit better. Because when I do that, I'm cutting out all the light. So yeah, it's a tiny, tiny bell. But yeah, let me put that in the bag so I don't lose it, because y'all know I will lose it. And give me just a second. I need to clear my nose and clear my throat and blow my nose. I'll be right back. Okay, that's a little bit better. So, shall we open some Winter and Stars Hollow? So this is from Fangirl Fibers, Emily at Fangirl Fibers. Winter and Stars Hollow Yarn Box. This has been so fun to open, even though I feel like a really awful fan because I've forgotten so many of the references. Okay, so December 21st. Oops. That looks pretty. I hate when I tear the bag. So here is the yarn. That's quite nice. This actually would pair well. Which one? There was another one we had recently that had some tan like this. Anyway, it's very nice. It's got some gray, some blue, a little bit of yellow. I like this pop of kind of light brown there. Not quite coordinating today. This is nothing better to try to get you back. No. Season 6, episode 13. I am drawing a blank. Nothing better to try to get you back. No. I might have to look up that episode because is this Logan and Rory? Is it Christopher and Lorelai? I can't remember. But it's a gorgeous color. I like it a lot. So that's today's. I hate it when I can't remember what the reference is. Okay. And lastly, we have our Over the Rainbow from Asylum Fibers. This is Stephanie at Asylum Fibers. So we're just going to open this one down here. We're looking for some purple today. Hoping for some lavender, some purple. It looks like blue. Actually, blue is good too. I'm happy with blue. This is leaning into indigo. It really is. Let's see. So this is a little bit lighter than yesterday's. Looks a lot lighter on camera. It doesn't have the black intertwined. It is sort of a tonal indigo. Not quite as dark as navy. It does lean a little bit more purple than navy. So yeah, we're getting into the purples, which is good because we only have 3 more days. There's only 3 more days. 3 more days. Yeah, 3 more days. I can count. So that is today's color. It is called, pardon. This is Professor Marvel, or is it Professor Marvel? That's a pretty color. I like it. Okay, folks, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you especially for for letting me feel my feels. I appreciate it. Most of y'all are very supportive. I never really know how much to share, but but Holi-Vlog is all about not editing, so I guess it all goes in. So I hope you're having the best day that's available to you. I hope you're having a gentle holiday. I hope you're treating yourself well. And yeah, so all of the good things to you. Have a great day. Have the best day that's available to you. And I will see you all again tomorrow. Bye.